most anticipated characters that didn't make the game. What's going on, guys and girls? It's Zach from Switchforce. Gabe is here, and Sakurai is prolific, to say the least. He is always doing interviews, he's always writing columns, he's always dumping knowledge, and this time he's talking about Decidueye, and he's talking about ARMS.
Zach, those are two things that would have been really great additions to the already ultimate Super Smash Brothers. Decidueye would have been interesting just because that character already exists in Pokken Tournament, and the moveset would have been pretty easy to sort of emulate and translate over. I'm glad that they went with Incineroar because, Zach, I've actually kind of been using Incineroar a little bit, and he's a little bit underrated in my opinion, at least for me.
No more Kirby, Gabe?
No, yeah, I'm trying to move away from Kirby. So I'm having fun with Incineroar.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. So
that's awesome to hear. I think Incineroar is great, and I still like using him. Not as much as I did early on, but hey, who do I like that's not named King K. Rool? I like that Sakurai did go with a character that hasn't seen realization in a fighting game of this style. Decidueye would have been an easier carryover, but he already is there, so you have a chance to play as him. I think Incineroar was a smart move. The part of this that I find really interesting, Gabe, is that Sakurai discussed the lack of representation from ARMS and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, saying that it really boiled down to poor timing, that a project plan for Smash Bros. Ultimate had to be settled too far in advance, and they weren't able to even consider, it sounds like, Springman or someone new from Xenoblade.
Obviously, we don't know the ins and outs of development for games like this, but that's so weird to me because why do you need a plan like so ahead of time? I mean, they knew what ARMS was going to be beforehand, and yeah, I'm sure Smash was already like well into development at that time, but why not just like include it? I don't understand that at all, really.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an oddity given just the gap between the games, and I guess you're right, how early did this need to be set in stone? And it makes me wonder, why then the switcheroo with the DLC characters where Sakurai at one point said like they hadn't finalized them, so that came together, it seems like more I don't want to say last minute, but closer in a shorter time period. I really would have loved to see ARMS included in the game. To me, that's one of the big missings, because I love how Inkling has evolved into one of the best characters in the game. Jake loves using Inkling. It's a really fun thing to see Splatoon get representation. I feel like the DLC Fighter Pack is going heavy third party, so I don't foresee this being possible, but I would love if, given this comment, Sakurai was able to incorporate someone from ARMS in the future. We do have the assist trophies, and we do have the Mii Fighter outfits, but man, like, can we get a little Min? Can we get a little Twintel action as an actual future, maybe DLC fighter down the road?
That'd be really cool. I would particularly love Twintel, but, spirits are in the game for a reason, and we get to see characters from other franchises represented in Smash Brothers through spirits, and that kind of assuaged any, like, super, super hardcore, fandom I had for ARMS and how much I really, really wanted it in Smash. So it's a little